What's happening YouTube? Lee here. Sorry it's been a while since my last video. Lots going on with work, lots happening in social life, which is all good. But I wanted to put a video together today to talk to you about mining. Now, I did touch on that in my previous video. I'll put a link in the description below. But this video is aimed to go a little bit more in depth as to exactly what mining is and the different types of miner that you can get and how you can go about mining. So you'll see in the background now, I'm actually in the process of mining. At the moment, I'm mining Turtle Coin. I'm not going to go too much into that now, but I'm mining that on one of my rigs I've just got down here, which I'll show you a bit later on. So, as I said in my first video, mining is effectively providing power to the decentralized network. So, you cannot mine all cryptocurrencies. An example of one that you cannot mine is Ripple. However, there's lots that you can mine. Bitcoin's obviously the one that everyone talks about, the most popular one. And effectively what you're doing is you're providing computing power in order to enable the transactions on that network to happen. As a reward for providing said computing power, you often get rewarded a very small amount of that cryptocurrency. So, for example, a popular mining program that everyone uses is NiceHash. NiceHash allows you to mine different algorithms. You're not actually mining Bitcoin, but you're paid in Bitcoin for the privilege of providing that power. So the different kinds of miners you can get vary from ASIC miners, which are application-specific integrated circuits. So they're designed for a very sole purpose of providing power and mining capability for a certain cryptocurrency. So you can get ASIC miners for Bitcoin, for example. You can get ASIC miners for Litecoin, and I'm going to go over some of that in my slideshow of the different miners that you can get. You can get rigs, miners that people put together. They will either build them with the idea of mining a particular cryptocurrency, or more to what I'm gearing towards now is building rigs that then allow you to have the flexibility to mine different cryptocurrencies. So without further ado, let's look at some of the rigs that I've got here and give you a bit more detail as to what they're about. Right, okay, so the first example I have for you is a ASIC mining rig. It was the first one that I built back in the day. This rig's probably about 3 years old now, and back when I built it, it was actually profitable. For those that recognize it, they recognize the chips, the Antminer chips. They know that they're not very profitable. In fact, this thing probably uses more electric than what it does mine Bitcoin. I've sort of kept it for the sentimental reasons. It was the first rig that I built. It's quite a cool conversation topic when people see it. People always seem to ask me questions. So if I give you an overview of how it's set up. So here on the left hand side, you see that we've got a Raspberry Pi. This was one of the first Raspberry Pis that were released. I had it kicking around, not doing an awful lot. Now that is running a Linux distro called MinePeon, and I'll put a link in the description for that. That OS is simply designed to interface with these ASIC chips and in order to mine Bitcoin. Now with these ASIC chips, these ASIC miners, you do need to have them as part of a pool. The pool that I use, I tend to settle on two, and that is Slush's pool and also Ant pool. Again, I'll put those links in the description below. So what you'll also see is this USB hub that we've got here. That's just simply to give me more USB ports, and these chips here are the actual ASIC miners themselves. So this rig in total doesn't really give a massive amount of power. I think it gives me about 30 gigahashes, and as you can see, all the blinking lights, as they blink, it's actually processing parts of those verification for verifying transaction on the blockchain. So it does make a very small amount of money. It's negated by the electric that it uses. You'll see here that I've got two fans as well, just to keep them cool. They do run very hot, even these ones at the rear with the heatsink. But hey, it's more of a nostalgia reason that I've got it going, and you know, it sits there and it makes a little bit of money. So yeah. So next up, I've got here my Antminer S5. I got this a couple years ago with the idea of giving me some more hash power. These are effectively bigger ASIC chips, and this one in particular provides a 1.5 terahash of computing power. Now they are very power hungry, and as you can see here, I've actually got it connected to a HP Gen 7 server PSU that I've retrofitted in order to be able to provide enough juice. These allow for greater power efficiency as well. One thing I did notice about these ant miners, especially the ones from Bitmain, is they are very noisy, and as a result I decided to retrofit some fans. So the previous shot shows a Corsair fan that I've got on a pull configuration, and this one here, a Noctua, on a push configuration, which actually reduced the noise. So over to my main rig, and as you can see, that this has two RX 580 GPUs in. Now shout out to Ad for providing me the parts of this, because most of this rig was built from spares, and it does do other stuff. It's my hypervisor, it also terminates my VPN at home, but I dropped these two graphics cards here in order to give me some mining power. I figured if it's always on, then I might as well be getting some use out of it and mining some crypto. Now I tend to have this connected to a screen here that's in my main room. It gives me stats on Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies that I'm watching. It also allows me to see that it's working, so it's always handy to keep an eye on the price, keep an eye on where those buy and sell figures are, and see what's generally going on in the crypto world. Now one thing that I'm working on is I'm building another mining rig, and as you can see, some of the parts here have already started to be delivered, so I'm pretty excited about that. The idea is that I'm going to be building a bigger rig with more hashing power, and I'm building it from scratch for an educational reason, and also so I can pick the parts that go in. So this will allow me to flick between different cryptos with the idea that I can mine whatever's more profitable at the time. So watch out for that, more to come in a video following shortly. Right, so hopefully now I've given you a tour of some of my rigs. That's given you a bit of a better idea of what mining's all about, the different types of miners that you can get, and hey, it may have inspired some of you to start mining yourself. If it has, then I'll leave some links below how you can get started with nice hash. Perhaps you've got a PC that's sitting there on and idle most of the time, not a bad graphics card. That's a good way to start. Trust me, it gets addictive. So I've got to wrap this up now. I've got to try and shoot this in one take because Mr. Ian, thank you very much for the loan of the camera. Very much appreciate it. I did say that the battery life that you had left in it may not have been enough. It's flashing on red now, so it's going to cut off any minute. Guys, I know that some of you have said that you want some videos on how to buy some altcoins. I'm going to do that for you. If there's anything else that you want, please let me know in the comments below. Also as well, I'm going to leave a link down there for the cryptocurrency group that I've got on Facebook. So any questions, queries, hit us up on the group. Until next time, take care.